Hey, what's going on, people? You know what I really feel sorry for is these abused children in this world, because they were just innocent little babies, innocent little toddlers, innocent little girls, innocent little boys. And some sick fucking trash cunt pedo nonce felt the need to interfere with that child, okay? Whether that was touching them, whether that was rubbing themselves on them, whether that was sex acts or whether that was full-blown sex, okay? These adults are adults. They knew what that would do. They chose to go with their needs over the needs of that child, right? They knew that one sex attack or that 10 sex attack or even 20, mate, like whatever the number is, will fuck that child up for life. That child will struggle forming relationships with people. That child will struggle in school, work, mental health, just general problems. They won't really live a happy, fulfilled childhood, go on to achieve, like people that are loved, for example, go on to achieve bigger things, better things generally, okay? Now, when these adults do this to these children, okay, they should be punished with the utmost fucking serious fucking punishment there is, right? But the thing is, the law protects these child abusers, these nonces, these paedophiles, because they're protected. England has a massive, massive history of child abuse, bruv. You only have to go back, look at Jimmy Savile, protected, friends of the royals. Gary Glitter, protected, friend of the royals. He got day released the other day, didn't he? Now, if someone was to go and do him something nasty and something happened, what do you expect? Because the law ain't protecting these fucking children, right? The two children in my family, little girls that were taken into care through sexual abuse, their parents didn't go to jail. My Jehovah's Witness auntie, who sexually abused her own son, she didn't go to jail. My parents didn't go to jail for any of abuse, but these kids have to suffer. Now, the two little girls that grew up there, one of them I see on Facebook. She's not allowed to be on Dad's Facebook page, but she is. Maybe the law should look into that, okay? Because she's not allowed around him, is it? Right? And then another little girl I don't know about. Now, she grew up. The little boy that got abused by his Jehovah's Witness mum, he grew up. He's absolutely odd. He's on the spectrum, right? And then you've got a load of other kids where I feel they've been sexualised. I feel people have had sex in front of them, grooming them. When I was little, my stepmom involved me in an Ann Summers party. Okay, now who does that? Now, from the Ann Summers party, I got a crush on my sister's godmother, I think it was. And that was a bad thing. I used to really have a MILF crush. And I spent my life chafing MILFs, bruv, basically. And they had no right to do that. These things you shouldn't be doing around children, okay? Now, when people abuse children, they took that risk. They said, oh, what's that child going to do? What's he going to come back and do me anything? I'll just call the police and say it didn't happen, have him locked up and have him silenced because I'm a dirty narc. I have a right to do that. So when I hear stories of children going to the law, and the law don't do nothing, because it's like Jehovah's Witness rule, innit? You've got to have the two witness rule, innit, to protect the abusers. These children ain't got nowhere to turn. So they think to themselves, what is freedom? Every day I'm suffering, every day I'm lonely, I'm crying myself to sleep, I'm on drink, I'm drugs, I'm mentally breaking down, I've got no one to turn to talk to, I'm homeless, friendless, whatever the situation is, yeah? So these kids start to build up hateful thoughts in their head, which is only right, yeah? Hateful thoughts. And in their head, they want to kill their abuser. They want to torture their abuser. They want to beat their abuser. They want to do all sorts to their abuser, okay? But then the law wants to lock them up, okay? Now, I respect children that ride on their abusers. I fucking love that. I love it. I couldn't give a fuck what age they are. If someone touched you up and sexually abused you when you're 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever, and you have to catch them when they're 88 years old, so be it, bruv, okay? It's only the cunts that are going to go, oh, it's a pensioner. Well, that was a kid. When it got abused, so what, it grew old. So what, it got its jaw rocked at 90. So what, it got burgled. So what, it got punched all over the place, bruv. It touched someone's kid. Now, these men abusers, they're absolutely scum. Now, with child abuse, there's certain child abuse. There's the lovers of children that just want to basically love them in some sick way. And then there's the ones that literally beat them, torture them, half dead to death, bruv, okay? And that's so these kids can't go and talk on it. Now, majority of kids go mentally fucked up. I've gone mentally fucked up. I've had breakdowns from my abuse. And these abusers seem to think nobody's going to come back on them. They can run around like getting junction papers. They can get fucking bans. But that don't stop nothing. Because when the person's reached a bit in life where they think, do you know what? I think this abuser of mine that's ruined my life, set out to do it from day one, needs to be taught a lesson. So it has to be taught a lesson in front of itself, or its partner, its wife or husband, kids, grandkids. I couldn't give two fucks, bruv, who has to watch it, who gets traumatised from it. Because that abused child is traumatised anyway. So if that abused child come back and put a knife in a 90-year-old woman, 90-year-old man, I won't give two fucks, bruv. I really won't give two fucks. The law will. The law will lock you up. But at the end of the day, law didn't do the job, did it? So what are you supposed to do? Go through life letting people abuse you? Be a victim? Be violated by trash? I don't think so, bruv. And a lot of people got this mentality. Go look on the internet, go Google it, how many people have rode back on their abusers, bruv. I fucking love it. But everyone's got a different opinion on it. People say, oh, you can't, that 78-year-old woman or whatever got battered. That's a bad thing, was it? No, she abused a boy as a child. Lucky she never got fucking murdered for it, bruv, really, innit? At least he fucking stopped beating her, innit? And it is what it is, right? I like justice. And when the law don't want to serve justice, CPS, magistrates, Crown Court, whatever, don't want, the family court don't want to serve justice, bruv. Sometimes you have to go and serve it yourself, bruv. You know what I mean? You have to go up front and you have to take the lead and you have to be that person to serve it yourself, bruv. Now, this world's fucked, mate. It's basically, it gives abusers rights to go and abuse kids. When I was in prison, yeah, somebody shouted out, fucking nonce cunts to the fucking prisoners, and the screw come in and said it was me. It wasn't my voice, bruv. And he said, I've been locked down, in the cell, locked down. I had jobs in prison, innit? But I've been locked down because whatever happened, I had to go to the wing where they made the food, where all the nonces were. And they're so protected, bruv. They smirk as the alarm goes off in system, like, in prison, like, whoa! Something like that, yeah? And all these nonces get moved, so everyone has to go back in their cell, and they just smirk, and they just look at you, and they grin, bruv. Okay? So these sickos get off on that, and obviously there's some sickos that get off on retaliating, bruv. I don't like pedos. I don't like nonces. Never in my life have I felt to abuse my fucking little girl, sexually abuse a child. Because that makes you a sicko. And when you go out there and do them things to people, so what if it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later? I couldn't give a fuck if someone that's around you gets hurt that wasn't even involved, bruv. Okay? I really couldn't give a fuck. The law has a duty. The law don't want to do the job. What, people are supposed to just die unhappy? Die abused? Die and letting some fucking washed up old white man fucking sweat all over them? That causes trauma. That causes CPTSD. That causes PTSD. It causes mental health fucking problems. Anxiety, depression, goes on sometimes schizophrenia, bipolar, borderline. Okay? I will speak on these fucking things. And if you have ever abused a child in any way, I don't give a fuck if it's mentally, sexually, physically, in any way possible, I hope that child comes back on you. I really, really do. And if you had a smart brain, when you go around abusing people, you should live in that paranoia, bruv. Are they going to come back on me one day? So all abused children, if they get their comeuppance, they get their justice, they create karma, and so be it. That's life, bruv. Once again, I don't like paedophiles, I don't like nonces, and they have no right to live on this fucking earth. And since society protects them, there's people out there who are going to do them something, innit? And I wish them all the best with that, bruv. Okay? People have to be taught lessons. I don't want to live in a country that fucking enables paedophile. For allow Gary Glitter to come out on day release, bruv. Absolute fucking scumbags, but they ain't arrested Prince Andrew, have they? They're all friends of the royals. They're all linked to the BBC, aren't they? Yeah? You people fucking around these people. No, mate. No.